Architectural Builder Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Front door glass with the aluminum frame, and I've got the 9-inch offset door handles on the outside with a 34-inch cross push bar on the inside. And the handles on the outside are stripped out in the door, and the thing is just flopping around. I've taken the handles out, the little Allen keys, pulled them out, and they got those studs that screw into the metal door. And the studs are stripped out in the door, and I can't even get the studs out. They will not even unscrew out. But I'm looking for, do they make a retrofit kit or bigger studs that would screw into that door? Or is there a retrofit handle kit that I could do a bolt through to bolt to both sides? Or what can I do to fix this?
Probably the best thing to do is just to replace the outside pull handle with one that's not stripped.
Well, it's the handle's not the strip part. The handle actually slides over the studs and then tightens down with Allen keys. The handle's not the issue. It's the studs in the door that are stripped. They're flopping around in the hole in the door, and I literally can't even unscrew them. I mean, I'd have to, force them out and pull them out, which is going to mess up the hole even larger and mess it up.
Yeah. So do the current studs go all the way through the door, or are they only surface concealed?
Yeah, they're just surface. They don't go all the way through.
Yeah, so two options. Possibly get a larger diameter stud and then re-drill and re-tap, which will force you to do additional work to that pull handle as well, or replace it outright. Or you determine the thread type of the stud that's there, so we know what size bolt fits into it. Then I can sell you the mounting package to run bolts through the door. But do either of the mounting points for the outside pull handle are either of those mounting points in common with the push bar on the egress side?
It is, yes. The bottom one is back to back, and but the top one it does not. If I were to drill all the way through the door, I would need some kind of discussion plate or a cap or something to cover it up, the bolt. That's what I actually thought about doing, was drilling straight through the frame, but then I was confused as to what I could do on the bottom because it's back to back with the push bar on the inside.
But it doesn't make sense what you've said. I'm sorry, in the common end it goes through. Well, that is problematic because going with a larger bolt is going to require work on that inside push bar as well. Now what you could do is use I would want to know the diameter of the existing, but only one mounting point has failed. Is that what it is?
No, it's both. It's the top, and it's only the outside handle that's loose. And so like I said, it's just got the, like I said,
that it's through bolted?
No, it's not through bolted.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No. I'm sorry. No, it's not through bolted. It's just surface mounted on both sides.
Okay. So what you could do is the mounting point, if you were to through bolt it, would it be in conflict with the horizontal push bar?
The bottom
would be. Okay, I understand. So what you could do is you could buy, if you wanted to, what's the outside pull handle made of? Do you know?
It's aluminum, I believe.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, it's the 9-inch offset rolled aluminum chrome.
That's so easy. So what I would suggest is that we'd really like to know. We really would like to know what diameter is there, so that you're not already at the maximum diameter. Then there's nowhere else to go. And how many set screws are there holding that on? One or two?
For the outside handles, there's just the top and the bottom. It's the flared lugs that the handle slides over and then they tie down with Allen keys.
Yeah, it's a cone head, but there's only one set screw per mounting point, right?
There's the top and the bottom. I mean,
so
for
per
the
mounting,
hand.
So there's a total of two, one at the top and one at the bottom. I understand. Okay.
Well, there's actually no mounting plate whatsoever. The bolts are actually, the cone head bolts are actually just screwed right into the frame of the door.
I understand that, but then there's a cone head that projects off the face of the door that the pull handle sits over.
Correct.
Seals it, and then you tighten the set screw, right?
Correct. Top and bottom.
So, yeah, I have riv nuts that would probably save the day. You'd want to know the diameter of the thread that's already in there. So if you're in my website, I'd like to give you a part number so you can look at what I'm proposing.
Okay.
So type in that search 6R as in Romeo, then HD, Hotel Delta, and then hit enter.
Okay. Hold on one second. I actually am not at the office, so I'm going to have to do it on my phone. Hold on just 1 minute.
Oh, okay. And then we got, what's this? Yeah.
You said that you offer the bigger cone nuts that have larger threads on them for a bigger hole?
There are two sizes, and what I've said is we should know what you are already working with to make sure we're not already at the maximum size.
Right.
Yeah. So once you see that riv nut, then I'll give you the part number for the bolt that may go with it. Let's take a look. Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem if the door is not properly reinforced at the time of manufacturing. It's just, that's where these problems start.
Right. Okay, so this, what you're showing me, that's just the slide-in nut for the bolt, correct?
Yep. And then the bolt itself is the part number SP, as in Sierra Papa, 1064.
That's the larger size?
Well, bolt? That is a larger than standard size.
Okay.
There's no guarantee that's going to work because you could already have that size. And it could be that riv nut's going to solve the problem because I don't know what the outside diameter requirement is for drilling. Let's see. Yeah, you need a 17/32 drill bit. So, basically a half of an inch.
Okay. Now, when I take the handle off and I'm actually looking at the bolt that goes through the door frame, to me it does not appear that it has this, what is this called again? The rib nut. It does not appear. It does not appear to me that it has that rib nut because I'm not seeing any type of lip whatsoever.
You wouldn't have a rib nut. That's generally not done in new installation. You'd use a rib nut to salvage an installation.
Okay.
Although rib nuts can be used in new installations, they just generally aren't.
It looked like just they literally drilled a hole in the frame and screwed that
in the door. Yeah. That door probably wasn't built with sufficient wall thickness for drilling and tapping, and that's why it's failed.
Okay, so now on these rib nuts that you have here, is that bolt you gave me, that SP1064, that's the proper threads to screw into this rib nut that you gave me?
Those are both the same thread diameter and thread count. That is true.
Okay. And then the bell housing that the handle screws over, that's a standard size?
For that manufacturer it is.
For the manufacturer of the door handle or what?
That SP1064 is a standard size for that manufacturer, for Rockwood.
Okay.
That may work with what you have. there's no way for sure to know. You might have to do some work on the back of that handle. But I know that I've sold this material to people in the past with unknown pull handles, and it's always seemed to work.
Okay. Now as far as getting that nut out of the door that's already in there, that bell nut, I mean, I just have to literally grab pliers and just force it out of the door because I literally couldn't unscrew it.
Well, what's a bell nut? I'm not familiar with that term.
Well, I thought that you'd use that term. I'm not familiar. The actual nut that the handle slides onto that you tighten down, what is that actually called? The nut that screws, or not the nut, I'm sorry, the screw that screws into the door with the cone-shaped housing on the end that the bolts or the handle slides over.
Well, I think that's inherently the same as the SP1064 that you're looking at. That's probably what's there.
Let's see. Okay. Okay, it's not giving me a picture of it.
What isn't?
In your website, I typed in that SP1064, and I'm not seeing a picture.
Well, which one did you click on? Do that search again and click on the bottom one that has the line art drawing, and then scroll down when you get to there.
Okay. Yes, that is what I'm referring to as far as that bell shape on the end of it, or cone, or whatever they call it. So, okay. Now, as far as the length of the threads, is this
irrelevant?
I'm sorry.
It's probably irrelevant.
Okay, so it'll screw all the way in flush with that 6R HD nut.
The two will make contact. Yes. The bolt will go through the back of the rib nut.
Oh, the rib nut's hollow on the back?
Yeah. And actually on both of those items there should be videos there, and there are on the left-hand side, where you can really take a closer look at what that stuff looks like.
Okay, awesome. Now that rib nut, that 6R HD, that's just a push into the door. Once you drill it, it just pushes into the door, and then the ribs on the side of it, kind of like a friction mount.
What happens is you drill the hole, you insert it so that it's flush. The splines around the circumference are meant to keep it in place, but I also think they make the design frangible, that it's meant to break away, so that when you tighten the bolt, it's going to force the back end where the splines stop to collapse over the wall thickness of the door, and it's going to sandwich over that.
Okay. All right. Well, fantastic. That's what I need to do. I need to look at ordering some of those and see if I can make that work.
I think you can. The only problem you might have is if you've already got a 3/8 thread type, which is unlikely, very unlikely. It's not thoroughly unlikely. It's less common, so you might be able to. But at the end of the day, you got to do something. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's still on there. It's just flopping around. I mean, it's like I said, we've been into a restaurant, so it just looks crappy right off the bat. Someone in, you walk into the door, and the door handle stops to fall off.
Yeah. Now, what you could do is you could use through bolts everywhere. You could remove the push bar on the inside, remove its surface concealed bolt, and then come up with a bolt package to bolt the two together back to back. that's possible as well. And then you could through bolt the, you'd leave the free end of the push bar the way it is. You'd probably leave the free end of the pull bar of the pull handle the way it is, and then with a particular type of bolt package. But I'd have to know. What would I have to know? We'd really have to know the thread type of what you've got there. You'd have to put a caliper on the thread and determine its diameter. But that's probably a better way to go. We'd need a cone head bolt. We'd need a union at the one end. And that's probably how I would do it. I would probably skip the rib nut. It's a Band-Aid is what it is. It's a restaurant. I mean, people build bars and restaurants and put these quarter 20 grade 2 bolts on there. It's no wonder why I stock hundreds of replacement bolts.
Exactly. Well, that's honestly what my intention was, is trying to, because a through bolt would definitely be more secure and more long term. So that's actually what I was looking at. Now on the push bar on the inside, like I said, it just has the one common match, which would be the bottom of the outside handle. It's right across. So if I could get a 3-bolt for that, where both handles would mount to it, that would be better. And then at the top of the outside handle, I would have to drill through. There's nothing mounted or nothing on the other side, on the inside of the handle, so the bolt would show on that other side. So I would need, it'd go from the inside to the outside to screw into the handle, but on the inside, then it would just have a bolt head sitting there, which I'm not totally opposed to. I guess it could be a flush mount bolt.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't change those until you had to, and I think doing this option is going to solve it. So let me give you 2 more part numbers. So here's solution B.
Okay.
SP as in Sierra Papa 1025.
Uh-huh.
And then scroll down and click on any of those that have a picture.
Okay.
The next part number is SP 1027. That's a union, and you would thread that onto the threaded end, and that would allow you a back-to-back double cone head, or a back-to-back cone head on either side. And that would be how I would go. And when I was doing all this, I'd have some thread lock. I would have some, there's a name, what's the brand name for this thread lock? I would put thread lock on everything, on the set screws holding it in.
Right. Okay.
Loctite's what I'm thinking of.
Right on. So let me see, pull up these SP 1025s. Let's see here. It's just not pulling in. Okay, the SP 1025, that's just the 1/4x20 bolt head.
And then on the threaded end is where you're going to thread the union, the SP 1027. You're going to sneak all of that through the door, and you're going to lock both of your handles down to that stuff. Actually, what would happen is the union would go inside your pull handle, and you would lock that down on your push bar. You'd lock that down, and then you would run the SP 1025 through the door and tighten all that down, and then put your pull handle, your 9-inch center-to-center offset pull over the head of that cone, that exposed cone head.
Okay. I'm sorry. One more time. I was a little confused on that. So I got the 2 cone head bolts on either side. I've got the union in the middle. So how would the best way to assemble it would be?
So you would take the SP 1027, and you would insert that into the back side of the push bar, and you would secure that with its set screw. You would then run the SP1025 from the outside through the door and then let it stick out the inside and thread it into the union that you just installed in the push bar, and you would tighten that down. Then your push bar is completely installed. Your pull handle now just needs to be installed, and you set the back side of that, the female component of the back side of the pull handle, over the male component of the projecting cone head that's sticking out from the face of the door.
Okay, so this actual union, okay, so it's actually got a cone head on. It's got a cone head on one side and then threads on the other. It's not threaded on both sides.
No, cone head outside, threads on the inside.
Okay, so I insert that into the crossbar on the inside, and then push it through the door, and then the bolt from the outside runs all the way through the door.
Yeah, that's right.
Into the union.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that would be a better way to go.
Yeah.
Now, what do I need?
You wouldn't order any of that until you knew what thread type you have now. If you have 1/4-20 now, then you could order all of that. If you have something thicker, then we need different part numbers.
Why? I guess I'm confused as why would that matter if I'm getting the same size as far as the 4-digit code? As far as the hole in the door, or because the thread size would match what I'm ordering to replace. As long as the cone head fits inside the handles, why would the thread size matter on the screw that I'm replacing?
Because the prep on the back side of both your pull handles, the diameter is going to be dependent on how big of a bolt's, sitting inside of there.
As far as the cone head size that goes in the handle as well?
Yep. So if you put a caliper on a 1/4-20 cone head bolt and a caliper on a 5/16 cone head bolt, 5/16 is going to be bigger, obviously. So you got to make sure that, the prep in the back of the pull handle can accommodate the size of the bolt. You don't want to order 1/4-20 to find out, oh my God, I've got 3/8 diameter here, or I've got 5/16, and now you got to order new bolts or drill the back of the pull handles out.
Right. Okay. I do not have a caliper. Can I measure across with a tape measure? Can I measure across the actual cone head itself? Would that tell us?
Nope. You'd measure the diameter of the threads, the outside diameter of threads. It'll either be basically 1/4 inch or basically clearly, one line bigger than that.
Right.
Or it could be 2 lines bigger than that. That we're hoping we're not going to hear.
Okay. Okay, I guess the only dilemma I have on this now is that for me to get the threads out of that door, like I said, they will not literally unscrew. I'm going to have to pry them out and force them out. Now I've got to disassemble door handle to a front door until I get the replacement parts.
The joy of being a field technician.
Right on. Okay. What is if I were to order multiples as far as sizes, is it okay to return them, or I just don't want to have this thing poured out and.
It won't be worth your time to send them back. It won't be worth your money to send them back. It'll cost more in freight back than it's worth.
Oh, really?
You've got one door, I assume?
Oh, actually, I've got one. Well, I got 2 doors on this particular restaurant, and then I've got a couple of.
Yeah, it's going to cost more to ship back the bolts that you won't use. However, that does not eliminate the chance that you already have 3/8. We in order to get the right part numbers, we have to know the thread diameter. There are 3 possibilities. There's just no way around getting it. Without ordering triple of everything, there's no way around it.
What are the 3 sizes?
quarter 20, 5/16, 18, and 3/8, 16.
I'm sorry, one more time, slow down. Quarter what?
Quarter 20.
Yeah.
I mean, the sizes are just the sizes, but it's 5/16 and then 3/8.
Okay. And so I would literally need just, now the union, the quarter-inch union that I'm ordering, that will accommodate. Are the unions going to be different as well? Quarter,
Sure
5/16?
will. Yep, you're going to need new everything.
Okay.
So you don't, I mean, pulling out that awful bolt, you don't have to do that to determine this. Pull out the good bolt that's at the other end of the pull handle. Just unthread that.
On the push bar, the cross push bar?
No. So on your pull handle, that's the one where it's failed. Just inspect the mounting point that hasn't failed.
Both of them have failed, top and bottom.
Yeah, I don't know if both of them aren't going to come out without a fight, the logic would be that the diameter of the thread on the push bar would be the same, but there's no way to know that for sure. Right. Aluminum storefront's done by glass guys, and I'm just going to say it, they're notoriously fast and loose with the way that stuff's done. Aluminum is, in my opinion, not the most conducive product for templating hardware to. It's soft, it tears easy, you can't weld it in the sense of reinforcing to it. It's just the nature of what it is. If it was me, everything would be 14 gauge galvanized steel, and it would be as durable as the day is long.
Okay. Well, what is the most is there a most common size on those? Is 3/8 the most common?
When it comes to failed, quarter 20 is the most common. When it comes to not failed, it's 3/8.
Okay.
If I was a betting man, I would say you have quarter 20 because you'd be in the pack with everyone else. But I stock all of it, and it's because of this.
Yeah. Okay. Can you go ahead and give me the 3 part numbers for all 3 of those, for the bolts and for the unions?
Yeah. So let's see what I can come up with. Okay. Well, there is no 3/8 union, so that's going to stop us cold in the tracks there. So it's going to be, so let's just hope you don't have 3/8. Otherwise, I'll have to look up some other solution. SP 1027, you have the next larger size is SP 1068. Easy.
Okay. Now we're talking about the unions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you search those, you'll see that they're called unions.
Okay, so the SP 1027 is the quarter inch?
Yeah, when you'll see the description, it'll say what size it is.
And what's the other one, the 5/16?
The SP 1068.
Okay.
Now on your cone head bolts, you know that you've got the SP 1025.
That's the quarter inch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And when you search that, it'll say what size it is. The next bigger size is SP 1056.
1056. Okay.
So hoping that it'll be one of the 2 sizes.
Okay. And it does. There's no difference in lengths of them, though, as far as the thickness of the door. They obviously.
Yeah, you have to know how thick the door is. We shouldn't assume it's 1 3/4.
Okay. These are 1 3/4, the ones you gave me?
When you search those part numbers, they should come up in a variety of lengths. So it'll be SP 1025, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 3/4, and that kind of stuff. Okay.
All right. So I just need to measure the thickness of the door to determine that, correct?
Yeah, and then in the description, when you search SP 1025 or SP 1056, it's going to say length for X thick door, and you just pick the right thickness of door that you have.
Okay. Richard, I appreciate you so much, sir. You need to get more of this information, and I'll order them off your website.
I look forward to that, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Hey, after looking at this, these parts on your website, I just realized that that's going to take care of, those through bolts are going to take care of the bottom portion of that handle, where it goes through and matches the interior push bar, but that's not going to take care of my need on the top of the handle because it doesn't go all the way through. Do they have a through bolt for the top of the handle that would have some type of cap or decorative for the inside?
Yeah, let's get to that. Okay. So it's going to be one of two sizes. SP1003 or SP1055.
1055.
That's right.
Okay. What is that, the 1/4 and 5/16?
That's right.
Okay. Now, that's the bolt. Does that come with the...
That's you're going to then need the union for that. So you'd use the 67 or the 68 from previously.
Okay. So does that have the... now that's a through bolt for it goes into the handle, and then on the inside, what's on the inside of the door?
The decorative cap. When you
that's okay.
Yeah, search that stuff so you can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, then you'll know what it looks like.
Okay. Right on, brother. Thank you so much.
Anytime. Thanks.
All right, bye.
Architectural. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.